how disturbing is the memory that you've thought
A 7.
of? And um, how long ago did it happen?
It happened about 20 years ago.
Uh-huh. And when it happened, was it surprising to you that what had happened or what your reaction was?
It was very surprising.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And good. Did you have in mind a positive, engaging focus?
Yeah.
So can you tell me about that?
My lap kitty.
Your lap kitty.
Hmm.
So is uh, this is a lap kitty, meaning she likes to hang out on your lap?
Yes.
And so I want to hear about your lap kitty. What is her name? And I'd like you to tap along with me like this. You don't have to do it as high as I do. I'm just trying to demonstrate, and sometimes you'll be able to hear this tapping sound and sometimes you won't. It's Zoom kind of will take away these sounds sometimes. Good. And what is your lap kitty's name?
Spooky.
Spooky.
She's all black.
Okay. And now I want to do the practice blinking, blinking that we do. Oh, you've got it down already. Okay.
A veteran.
Okay. All right. So how did Spooky get her name? Is it his name or her name?
Her name.
Uh-huh.
She was in the pound when we found her.
Uh-huh.
And my ex-husband said she had spooky eyes.
Flash. And did you agree with him then?
Yes.
Okay. And how long have you had her now?
Well, she passed away a few years ago.
Uh-huh.
But
So
we had her for 13 years.
yeah, of blessed memory.
Yes.
Yes. Flash. And what else did Spooky do besides sit in your lap?
Well, she was always climbing up on top of me. She would climb up on top of me in bed. She would climb up on top of me. Whenever I was sitting down, whenever I was at the computer, she would climb up and try and sit on the keyboard.
Yeah. Flash.
She was always in she was always in my face.
Oh, well, so she was a cat that gave a lot of affection, huh?
Yes, she was.
Yeah. Flash. And I have a patient who's had a cat like that, and then somehow she got a shock from one of those static electricity shocks.
Mhm.
And right now her cat is not giving her any affection. It's really very distressing to my client. But that didn't happen with Spooky.
No. Spooky had a very silky coat.
Oh wow, Flash. What a great cat. And was she a kitten when you got her, or she was already a grown cat?
She was already a grown cat.
Flash. And did they know anything about her history, or had she been found on the street, or what?
She had been found on the street, and she actually had she was very lethargic when they found her, and when they went to go neuter her, they found out that she had a necrotizing uterus, so we actually saved her life.
Oh wow, Flash. And was it let's see, let's take a break. And I just like you, I guess we'll use Phil's expression, just skate over the memory and just notice if it's different in any way.
It is.
And what's different about
Um, it's more distant.
it? It's more distant. I didn't ask you before. Oh yes, we did have and okay, so it's more distant. Great. That's what we love to hear, because more distant means that you're beginning to get it in perspective, that you're not reliving it when you think about it quite as much, at least. And that's the most common response that we get when Flash is going successfully. Anyway, back to Spooky.
So when we got her right before my ex-husband's second deployment.
Flash.
And she was a lifesaver for me.
Yeah, because he was away for a long time.
He was away for 15 months.
And you worried about him, and you had this nice cat.
Yes. So she literally got me through that deployment. She was my life.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's something the military should think about, huh?
Yeah.
Issuing
Here are your report, your papers to report, and here's your cat.
Yeah.
No, the cat goes to the spouse, whether it's a man or a woman these days.
Yeah.
Who's home, worrying about their loved one in harm's way. Flash. Yeah. So that's great. The idea that here's this cat that was ill and was not taken care of, and found a wonderful home for herself and was wonderful for you.
I remember when I brought her home, she was laying in her box in the room where we were keeping her safe. And I just promised her that I would take care of her for the rest of her life.
Oh, wow. Flash. And what did she promise you?
That she would steal all of my pens. She had my pens. I had to hide my pens in my desk. She hunted my pens.
This is a cat with
the character.
This was a kleptomaniacal cat.
Yes. Yes.
That
The cat
compulsively
that should have
stole
known
pets.
to consume.
Yes. Garden snakes into the house.
Flash. What else did you say? I didn't hear that.
She loved to bring garden snakes into the house.
Oh, garden snakes.
God.
Oh, so she was a good garden snake catcher, huh?
Yes, she was. She loved to bring them to the house and play with them. She didn't kill them. She played with them.
Oh, really? And were you able to rescue them and put them back in the garden?
Yes.
Yeah. Flash. And are those garden snakes garter snakes generally?
Generally, yes.
Yeah, they're very beautiful snakes. Flash. And did she bring any other prizes to you, little mice or birds or stuff like that?
Occasionally she would bring birds, which were also alive. They would be playing dead until we would get them out into the garden, and then they would fly off. Oh,
that's comforting, because you hate to think of, there's a problem with particularly feral cats killing songbirds. And it's nice to know that she just
she liked to play with things. She liked things that moved.
Flash. So there's probably a role for a Flash therapist for the birds that are traumatized by this attack. Flash. Okay, let's take another break and check into the memory again and see if it's different in any way now.
Wow,
Don't smack look.
Oh, it's not hardly bothersome at all.
And when you say not hardly bothersome, on that scale from 0 to 10,
I would say it's at about a 2.
About a 2. And think about what makes it as much as a 2. And you can share that with me or just keep it to yourself, either way.
I think it was the shock, the suddenness of it.
So you can still sense that a little bit or something, huh?
Yeah, it was, and what I was doing when it happened.
Okay, so back to your amazing pen stealing cat. Flash. And what did she do with the pens that she found?
She would lay them out in a row in front of the fireplace.
Oh my God.
You got to be kidding.
No, she would lay them out and present them to me as
Flash.
gifts.
Oh,
Wow.
what a cat, huh?
An OCD cat.
Yeah, I
An
remember this
OCD kleptomaniacal cat.
I remember this incident that I got on tape, where she actually opened up with her teeth
Uh-huh.
a pack of Sharpies and specifically pulled out a specific Sharpie that she
Oh
wanted.
my God.
Well, was it a pack of different colored Sharpies or?
Yes, it was.
Oh,
Yeah.
Brown one.
what was her preferred color for Sharpies?
We picked out the brown one.
Flash. Oh my gosh. It's hard to believe, isn't it? It's just amazing. Flash. Now, people with dogs sometimes train their dogs to do tricks, like shake hands or something. Did your cat have any tricks, or is that's a cat's not up for learning tricks the way dogs are? I don't
It's
think.
not a trick cat, but she did learn how to turn off my alarm clock. Hated my alarm clock.
And she would go over and push the button.
Push the snooze button on me. Yeah.
Did she get the snooze button at times that bet you late for work sometimes?
She made me late for class a couple of times.
So there's a product category, a cat-proof alarm clock. Flash. Wow. That's an amazing story. And so you had her for 13 years?
Yes.
Wow.
And
We
she was
had-
already adult when you got her.
She was already an adult when we got her. She was probably maybe a year,
Flash.
2 years old. So she had a nice long life.
Right. So she probably wasn't actually a feral cat. Sounds like somebody had her and dumped her, or she got lost or something. Because
Yeah.
Those cats can be a real challenge to get settled down. And she sounds like she snuggled right in, huh?
Yeah.
Flash. Yeah. Let's take a break and check into the memory again and see if it's different in any way now.
It is different.
And what's different about it now?
What I was doing was not my fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it was not something that I could have helped.
Yeah. And it's touching for you to realize, isn't it?
Yeah.
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 I think I'm just going to switch here. Am I on your screen in a big way?
Yeah. I mean, we're side by side.
Okay, so pin me by going up to the right-hand corner and click of my screen and click on pin.
Okay.
Okay, so I'd like you just to focus on that realization that it wasn't your fault. And follow this wand right off the edge of the screen. What comes up for you now?
I feel like a weight's been lifted off my chest.
You know, oh, that's lovely. So, seems like a reasonable place to stop, Phil. What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah. thank you very much. That's a good demonstration, and
Great,
you.
straightforward
Thank you.
demonstration.
And it
Yeah,
was
thank
re-
you. Let me
and it was
just check, you said it was a 2 because of the shock. And what about now, 0 to 10?
I think it's a 0. Yeah.
Right, just, it was obvious, but I just wanted you to say it so people
Been
didn't
dealing with that for
quite get it.
20 years. So thank you.
And I want to say one other thing that, when you said it's not my fault, you got a little emotional.
My brother died very suddenly,
Ah,
and I was watching a movie when it happened.
oh, and you blamed yourself.
And I've just been, yeah, blaming myself for doing something frivolous when he was dying
Uh-huh.
on the street.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the teary feeling that came up was sort of
Relief.
like relief.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I wanted to just say that because sometimes people think, oh, she's still emotional. We have to pound that emotion out of her, but that's a good emotion. It's an adult, compassionate